everyone. Oh, let me just sit down. I thought I'd come back and show you what I'm going to make. Oh gosh, that's me in the chair falling over. I'm going to make another one of these. Millie wants one for hers. Mine that I made, this grime guard's a little bit on the big side. Could do with being a little bit smaller, but it's okay. I love it. So much easier with one of these on to cross stitch. So I'm going to make one for Mill. So I thought, well, I might as well show you what I'm going to do. So this is what I need. I've got my material, some about 1/4 inch. What's that? 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch? I don't know. Yeah, about 1/4 inch, 9mm, somewhere around there, of elastic, flat elastic that is. I've got some needle and cotton, tape measure, scissors, and I've got a white marker and pencil to see what marks the material. Not going to use any sewing machines because I can't use my sewing machine. So this I picked up for about £3.50. That's my piece that I've cut to make another one for the big one, but we're going to make a little one. So I thought, I've got no fancy rulers, no nothing fancy, just to prove that you can make something with just the bits and pieces that you've got. So we better work out what size we want material. So this is Millie's whip that she's working on at the moment, her poppies. So what I did is I literally just measured the hoop and then added about 2 inches just to, so it goes to there. So doesn't have to be spot on, just a guesstimate. So that's about 20 inches, and I added on 2 inches so you can, you know, push them together, and a little bit of give. So what did we say? 20 inches was it? Oh man, see, my brain fuddled. Don't get old, folks. Just don't get old yet. Say 22. So we want 22 in length. Oh, and then we need to work out, sorry, what we want in. My big one I did 6 inches, so I'm thinking if I do this one for 4 inches, so we'll have roughly 1 inch each side for turnover, and then roughly about 1 inch or just under to go over the sides. That's the plan. It'll either work or it'll go completely and utterly pear-shaped, but the only way to find out is to experiment, and this is what my second experiment. As I said, I did that one. So let's work out how long this piece of material is here. Is that width long enough? Oop-a-daisy. Come on, get down, boy, down. So we wanted 22. So yeah, that's plenty big enough. That's 23. So, and I wanted, what did we decide on? 4 inches. So all I did was I got my tape measure. Now let's do it the other way around. I can't work with people. Other people find they've got to work a certain way. Right. So all I did is I got my tape measure up there and marked at 4. Is the white better? Can't remember what I used on the other one. Not that it really matters because it'll be folded over. So just mark it there. 4 inch. Do 4 inch. Yeah, 4 inch. It hasn't got to be dead level, so don't panic. It's just a rough and ready grime guard. I mean, if you want to do it to perfection and you've got a ruler or a cutting board that you can do it, and you've got one of them rotary cutters that'll cut it, fab. I ain't got none of them. Well, I did used to have a cutting board until Jessie decided to do some gluing and sticking and gluing on it, and Yeah, there's about half a ton of bloody glitter stuck to it now. Mind you, it was only an A4 one, so it don't matter. Okay, and then that last bit there. And then I just got a scissors. This one is doubled over because I want to make another one. So I literally, you can't see, I literally got the first cut to there, and then I literally just went roughly, can you see? Yeah, roughly along the line. Probably wasn't perfect, but hey ho. So we'll chuck that to one side. So I'll measure this again. I was going to measure with that then. Yes, about 4 inches, that'll do. My cutting wasn't exactly level, but hey ho. So what did we say we wanted? 22, and that's 23. So we could do with just cutting an inch off. So I'll just measure roughly inch in there, inch in there, and just cut that bit off. And that's done. And then I'll cut this material in half. I mean, worst case scenario, we've cut it wrong and we've got to start all over again. So, do you know what I mean? So we don't need the bottom one, just the top one. Then all I did is literally got the width, got one of these and put it along there to work out roughly how much I wanted to turn over, because you want it to be able to move slightly inside. So I thought, well, if I do it to about there, I didn't even measure this, I just did it all by eye because I'm a lazy bugger. I'm not a sewer, and that looks plenty to doing that. And then all I did was run my nail and then just and if you got to a narrow piece, it doesn't matter, so it just levels it off a little bit. Now if you want to be professional, you could turn that over once to stop the fraying and then turn it over again, but because I'm not using it that much, and if it comes undone I'll just re-sew it. And again, because I'm too bloody lazy to do I mean, if you've got a machine, it's easy. You could just whiz up a little overlay like that, whiz it up on the machine and then turn it over and then whiz it over. But because I haven't got any, I mean, in theory, I suppose you could glue it with a hot glue gun down. Have I done that too narrow now? No. Just literally went across as rough as it comes, because that's my middle name, rough as it comes. Yeah, so I just double check again that it will go. There isn't anywhere that it won't go through, so I haven't done it too thin somewhere. Nope. And then I got my needle and my cotton. Did I use that one? Yeah. Nope, got bits everywhere. Why did I put my scissors on like that? And I got, now you'll probably need quite a few lengths of this because of the way I stitch it. As I say, if you've got a machine, fab dabby dozy. if you're like me and you haven't. Now I thread this the same way for strength as I do that I've learnt on cross stitch. So you put the two ends, can you see the two ends I've put in there, can you see them? So you've got two strands, and then you've got the loop end there. So I'm going to do the loop technique. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in there, up, and then put my needle, can you see, in that loop and pull it. And then the stitch I'm using is just a bit of a back stitch, so you go forward one like that, and then go back to the beginning, so where you first see, to the beginning, then come up and front. Now you can do little stitches, you can do big stitches of this, it doesn't really matter. Just pull it in where that one was, so you go back to that one and in front of that one. And again I just recheck that that's going to fit in there, and I've got plenty of room in there, and that's how it looks on that side. So we'll do that all the way across. You just keep going back and forth. And I say the only thing with this loop method is I don't use a big piece of cotton because it can get tangled and then you get in the right mess. I suppose the same principle if you used a big piece on cross stitch, isn't it? I mean, it's a bit of a faffle, but I don't mind. Usually I put like a YouTube video on. Well, that's what I did with that one. When I'm trying to sew something. Patching up the kids' clothes usually. But, and I'm not a sewer, so I usually put something good on. I think I watched either Jen or Mrs. Coffee, or it might have been Becky's Madness and Crafts. One of those anyway when I did my other one. And the time went quite quickly, even though I was stopping and starting because I was okay, see, it's a bit uneven there, but am I bothered? Nope. As I haven't got a machine. I mean, if you had OCD, you probably wouldn't want to do this method because it is a bit uneven and a bit messy. But and if you've got some anti-fray lotion, you can just put anti-fray on that and that'll stop that fraying anyway. But I'm far enough away from the edge, it shouldn't make much difference. And I'm only making it for me. I mean, if you were making it professionally, if that pulled the needle out, then maybe you'd want to think about doing it. But other than that, if it's for yourself, are we worried? Excuse me while I just try and rethread my needle. Whoop. So I'll just need to pull it out again then. I'll do a couple more and then I'll stitch this one off and then get another piece. So what I'll do, show you now, I always try and leave a bit on there so that I can make a knot. So all I do is literally just gather a bit of the material, pull it through, don't quite pull it through all the way, just come through there, and then go back through the hoop, and I do that twice and that should catch it enough that it won't come undone, and it doesn't matter if that happens. Just poke it, poke it, poke it, poke it through the holes. Go on, you can get in there. There you go. See, it wasn't so hard. Pull them tight. Cut them off. And I mean, I know we've only done that bit. it's not too bad, is it? So now we get another one. And we do exactly the same thing again. Get the two ends together. I just think if it's like me and you haven't got a lot of money, and you've got, I mean, I know I bought the material and the elastic, but I think to buy grime guard here that it sent you would cost me £13 something. Well, metre of material cost me £3.50. The elastic cost me £1. Well, it's 50p a metre, and you wouldn't use a metre for this. Well, actually, yeah, you might need just about a metre for thing, but for £1 you can buy 2 metres, so that's £4.50. But as I say, most of the material I've got left, I haven't even used probably half a metre on both projects. And then some needle and cotton. So if you've got like an old, I don't know, bed duvet cover, or an old pillowcase, or an old dress or something, you could cut up and use that. So you don't need, oh, no. What did I do there? Which one was it? That's it. Got a bit of a knot there. There you go, just pulled it out. I mean, so you don't have to buy the material. And I can remember my mum taking elastic out of skirts and things that had elastics inside and reusing the elastic, so she didn't have to buy anything when she made our clothes. You know, so if I can save somebody some money by just showing them how to make it from somebody that isn't skilled, that isn't, you know, trained to do any of this, can't sew to save a life, but can still make a workable grime cover. And as I say, it looks alright, I think. And it's so, makes such a difference to your project if you've got one on, to hold it the way you hold it, everything. It keeps it nice and clean. You can tuck the material behind. Yeah, so I ordered myself a little video camera out of my disability. I had a little bit left of my disability after paying all my bills. Not a lot, but enough. About £100 I had left. So I couldn't, because I can't afford an expensive camera, video camera or a camera. So I thought, well, I'll get one. Read reviews after reviews on different ones and found one that seemed okay for what I wanted. So I okayed it with Grant and the kids, and I said, is there anything you need now? Have you got everything? Because everything paid yet. So I thought, right, I'm going to order it. So I ordered it from Amazon yesterday. It came this morning. I tried it out. It would be alright for taking photos, and it would probably be alright for taking videos long distance, although all the reviews said it was really good for videos. Because I want to take them at this angle and at this near, it wasn't showing colours up, so it was as bad as my phone. So I got my colouring books out as well, and they're the ones that I'd already filmed. Oh look, I've gone wrong there. And tried it with them, and the one, it made the greens and the oranges yellow and bloody orange. It was really weird, and the background looked messy. So that's going back. So I'm very, very sorry. You're going to have to persevere with me with my phone camera at the moment. I am trying to, but I had a look online, you know, I put in what's a good cheap camera to film with, and all these videos came up, and the cheapest they called cheap was like $600, which was that about 500 and odd pounds. Was that less, more? I can't remember, but it was $599. It kept coming up, all the videos I saw, and I thought, oh my bloody god. I mean, I can't afford to buy that, you know. I wish I could, but I can't. And Grant got upset because he still, oh, wish he got a better paid job and then he would be able to afford it. And I said, look, you know, we've got what we've got and we use what we use. So I said, I'll just keep looking and trying. I said, the cameras don't work, I can send them back. They don't do the purpose that I want them for. So, yeah. So I'll keep looking. I will keep looking. Right. What I'll do now is I'll switch off, because you do not want to be listening to me prattling on for the whole time it's going to take me to do this. So I'll switch off, do this side, and then I'll do exactly the same again on this side. Look, I'll just lift it up, fold it down, get my end of me tape live, and do that again that side and sew up that side, and then I'll come back. I'm going to put a video on and watch while I'm doing this, so I'll see you in a sec. Okay, we're back. We've got our piece sewn like that. I've got 4 small safety pins, 1 large, purely because this is how I do it. I haven't sewed the holes up, so all I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the elastic half of the length of this. So this was 22, wasn't it? So I'm going to do the elastic 11 inches. So it should gather nicely. I mean, if it doesn't and it's too tight or too slack, then you can undo it. That's why I like to, you know, this method. You can just unpick it and redo it. So I've got 2 lengths of 11 inches. Then I'm going to put that across there to stop it being pulled all the way through. I've never done it like this. Last time I didn't even bother doing this, and I just secured it. And then the other end you put lengthways. I think you can get a threader that does this, but a safety pin does the same, or a hair clip. A hair clip will do the same job as well. And you literally, can you see? So you've got that there, that on the end to stop that end, sorry, that on the end to stop that end going through, that on like that, and then you've got a hole there and there. So you literally going to poke that through there, and in theory it's going to pull it all the way through. Right. So you then just gather it up onto your safety pin. Once you get started, it's not too bad. There we go. And you just keep threading it through till you get to the other end. Say a hair clip, anything really, it's just so you've got something to hold on to. And you can push it along it. See, by putting that then there, hopefully it'll stop it pulling it through into there. So when I get to there, what I tend to do is undo this one. Well, I didn't do it, I just left it come through. But I thought that would be easier. And then I just literally hook it there onto the material, so I can't pull that through then. And then I get the other one ready for when this side comes through. I'll take it off there. So, whoops, don't worry if you pull a bit too hard. That's it, so it's level there, see with that one there. So I'm just going to do the same. Can you see it there poking through? You can see, can't you? Yeah. Oh, just poke it through there and hook it on that side. And then I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. And then put it through that one. So I've just watched Mrs. Coffee's, what one is it called? Random Ramblings, Talks for Tuesday. This one's, I think I've done this one a bit tighter. So actually I've done that one a bit too tight. So what I'm going to do, see, you can always adapt. Just put a smaller one on. I don't think I did the turnover as good as that one. A bit tight there. So I'm going to put the smaller one in. She says. It's a bit fiddly, and I'm not good at fiddly things. Once you get started, it's easy. And if you had the tool, you'd probably be a whizzing through it. But I haven't got the tool, so we have to make do with what we've got. So if it means fiddling and farting around, then that's what I shall be doing. Cars outside today. See, once you get started, it's okay. So gather it all up on the little safety pin, pull it through. That's it. You just can't thread as much through as you normally can. Lily, it's okay. There's a car pulled up across the road, and it isn't a car she recognises the noise of. I don't recognise it either. She's good like that. She'll let you know if there's a stranger on the street. She'll have to excuse her Lulu barking in the background. She's letting them know, don't come near my mama. You're not welcome. They tend to park up the top of my street outside our house to walk like 500 or 600 yards down the very bottom of the street, because it's easier to park outside my house than it is to park down there, because they might have to do a bit of a manoeuvre, proper parking. Where outside my house has got to drive the one side, so it's easier. And all the learners as well, they always come and reverse park by our car. The whole street they've got, but they still do it outside ours. This one's a little bit more fiddly, only because the whatchamacallit is smaller. That's also, I can't do the same gather. And before I pull that through, I'm going to hook this one. Just a little bit. There we go. Ready. Ow. Just poke me bloody self then. Oh, blood luck. Need danger money for this. It's only Millie, she won't notice a bit of drop blood on there, will she? Right, pull it through. Oh, I hope this works after all this. Me and my clever ideas. I still haven't looked at a YouTube video. I should do really, shouldn't I? Have a look and see how they actually are made. But I bet they've got all the white fangled things, machines and cutters and... Right, so we've got that. So now we need to join the two together. Like that. Oh yeah. And again, I don't have any measurements. I'm just going to literally sew straight across. You know me. Wing it is my middle name. Gran says, you're always winging things. I said, oh, well, you do. When you ain't got much. I said, we never had much as kids. Never had much when I first left home. I didn't have nothing. And I said, we haven't got, you know, we have to wing it now. Make things do. So if I've got to make it up as I go along. So what? And because I haven't got quite the same level there, it doesn't matter. Can you see? That one's a bit narrower. Because I've obviously done did a bigger turnover there, but doesn't matter. So all I'm going to do is again going to do the loop technique in there. How she pulls the needles out. Don't do what I do and pull the needles out. Pull the cotton out, not the needle out. Oh, I just threw the needle. Where did I just throw the needle? Oh my god, where have I just thrown the needle? Hang on, guys. Needle dropped to the floor. See, you got it all, warts and all with me, don't you? Get the good with the bad, as they say. I like to show you because then you realise that it doesn't, you know, things go wrong for us all. You know, we're not all just all sailing or dancing and singing, as they say, can do it all. Some of us have to wing it, and I'm a winger. So, back round like that. Roughly put them together. I'm just going to go on there. Can you see? Yes, you can. On the loop method again, like I showed you at the beginning. And I'm literally just going to poke it through. And I'm making sure you can hear when it goes through the elastic. Making sure that it's going through that elastic and it doesn't get caught on there. Because that's the most important thing that you don't want to be moving, is that elastic. So I can hear it, you can hear like a dragging noise as it's pulling through both elastics, and that's fine by me. I'm literally just going back and forth, and then once I'm through the elastic I'll just do a back stitch, and you can feel once you've been through the elastic because it pulls through easy. What have we done there? That's it. We got to doesn't want to come out, does it? Come on. I think I'll be able to see with my glasses. Oh, come on, why is it doing that? It's getting caught on something and I can't see what. I see. That one's got to be pulled through. That one's got to be pulled through. I had tension wrong. I had one strand a lot longer than the other strand then, and that's why it didn't want to come through properly. Do it again. Keep putting one strand longer than the other. So I told you, it's warts and all with me. Right, now a bit of back stitch. Turn them together. If you had a machine, you'd just whiz over the top, wouldn't you? You'd be done in like 2 seconds. You could, if you had a machine, you'd probably whiz one of these up in about half an hour. You know, and you could whop them out. I suppose if you were clever enough, you could make them and sell them. If you were good on a machine. So as I said, they're so easy. Could get to the end of this and it doesn't work and I just say, oh well, do it all. I don't think so. Right, let's see if I can catch this plastic. Can you hear the difference? Hear it pulling through and dragging through now. Ow! Stab myself again. Maybe it would have been better if I had a bloody thimble, wouldn't it, over my fingers. But I ain't got one of those either, so yeah, that was wishful thinking. Scared of thinking catching my finger now. Right, and then I'll just sew it off, as they say. Sorry that on my phone. Doing the jute jute. Pull it tight. Cut it off. Right, moment of truth. Whether we've, because you'll know if you haven't caught elastic, because it'll all go pear-shaped. Then I'll have to redo this tomorrow then. I mean, you could put another row in there if you're worried about the fraying and all that, but I'm not. It's only for me and Millie Moo. Just cut them off so they don't catch on something. And then you just turn it that way, and that's what you end up with. Yeah? Right, moment of truth. Right, so we've got this. And we're going to put it on and see if it's too big or too small. So tuck our fabric in there, out of the way. Hey, look at that, guys. Look what we've just made. And that, she can roll up. If I show you what I mean, is you just roll it like that and tuck it underneath, and then roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it, tuck it underneath. Like that. I'm just doing it rough, but can you see what I mean? You just roll it tight. I haven't rolled it tight, I've just put it in for you to see, and then you just roll it and roll it and roll it under there, and it's out the way. And then she can stitch here by holding on to this here, look. I mean, you can move the elastic round, and I mean, if you wanted it a little bit slacker or a little bit wider or a little bit narrower, you just alter your measurements. So I'm dead chuffed with that. That's a better width, isn't it? So there's that one, or is a thicker one, but I think if you weren't going to do a small one, that width's better. And if you're doing a larger one, this or that size, whichever. So what do you think, guys? It's not bad, is it? Just for hand stitching. Muggins here. There you go. Hope you have a go at it. Try it on your machine. You'll whiz it up in about half an hour, I bet you. Let me know how you get on. If you like what you see, please give a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. If you're not subscribed and you'd love to, I'd love you to be one of my subscribers. Just press the button. That's all you've got to do. Don't cost nothing. Notification button by the side. That will let you know when I go live or when I put a video up. But whatever you decide to do, thanks ever so much for joining me and watching me. It means the world to me. Take care. Look after yourself. And I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.